All right, guys, 1, 2 notes, and we're going to jump right on in. Easy stuff. Make sure, again, you have your calculator, you have pencils, and paper, anything you need. Have those all here. It should be very easy. And what we're looking at today is order of operations, or PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay? That's one thing a lot of people have expressed it as in the past. You might have your own little thing. But again, really, order of operations is just, it's a nice little way that all of us mathematicians, that's what you guys essentially are, we're all on the same page. So we're like, hey, did you follow the order of operations? If someone's like, no, well, it's like, well, you got to get back and you got to do it right. So this is so everyone's on the same page, order of operations. And if you don't do these correctly, you can get some very different answers. Okay? So be sure to take your time, and honestly, your calculator will be your best friend. As long as you can plug these in your calculator, you'll get the right answer, but you want to be sure to be showing the work on the way down. So the first thing is P, which means for parentheses. Okay? You need to do whatever is in parentheses or brackets first. Okay? So, if we have a large statement here, let's say we have 1 plus 7 squared times 5 minus 3. Okay? The first thing we would do would have to be the 5 minus 3. So 5 minus 3 would give me, okay, first, so I'll just leave it here. You do 1 plus 7 squared times 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay? Parentheses, first thing you're doing right there. Now I know some of you are saying, well, I know 7 squared, things like that. Just do what is in parentheses first, okay? Or brackets. Brackets are grouping. These are grouping. All right, anything like those are parentheses. From there, we move on to exponents. Okay, parentheses first, then you take care of any exponents. Again, use your calculator. And what you should know is that exponents are really repeated multiplication. So what you're going to see is 4 to the third. I'm going to ask you to expand it. Expand. Well, 4 to the third is really 4 times 4 times 4. Okay? 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 4, yes, I'm using my calculator. 4 times 4 times 4. Do not be a hero when it comes to calculators. Don't be afraid. 64. Negative 4 to the third. This is where it can get tricky, okay? Notice the negative sign is outside. So really, it's going to come to the party last, all right? So if you have to expand this, negatives out front, and then you have 4 times 4 times 4, and it's negative 64. Now, what's the difference between that? Well, let's see. Expand this one here. Here, the negative is part of the group of parentheses. So it's negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. Well, lucky for us, this is still a negative times a negative is positive, times a negative is negative. But let's go ahead and we'll see another example down here actually. Okay, so we do still get negative 64. 2 to the fourth is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2, 4, 8, 16. And negative 3 squared, this is where it can be tricky if you don't expand it properly. So this is negative 3 times negative 3. Well, negative times a negative is a positive. So you're going to get positive 9. So that's where the negatives can trip people up. So negatives out front, okay? Negatives inside. Out front, inside, just be careful expanding those. And when in doubt, use your calculator. Be sure to put it in parentheses and everything like that. So just some additional examples here. If we were following this, we would have 1 plus 7 squared. So now we would have 1 plus 7 squared times 2. We would take care of 7 squared. And we would move on from there. Now, order of operations, the way you say it, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, the way you say it means that generally people think, well, we're always doing multiplication first and division first. And no, you do whichever one comes first. So whichever operation is first. I don't like how it's written out there. Okay. Sorry. Should be easier to see. Multiplication and division, and you do whichever operation comes first from left to right. Okay, so it might be that you divide first, or that you multiply first. Okay, whichever one comes in order. Multiplication, division. So if we were to take this from here, we would have 1 plus. We would then take 49 times 2. That's what we're tackling, and 49 times 2 is 98. 1 plus 98. Lastly, the same idea with addition and subtraction. Whichever is first. First from left to right. Well, for our example here, we just have 1 plus 98. So 1 plus 98 equals 99. But notice, if you do not subtract first, and you multiply and things like that, you might get a very different answer. So take your time with these. A lot of students think, oh, it's order of operations. It's simple. You can just rush through. And really, these again are easy points. Use your calculator. Like terms, they have the same variable and the same exponent. Okay, same variable or number and the same exponent. So I want all terms that are like 5x. So I need terms that have a simple x and anything with a constant number. So 5 and x. Well, 3x. That looks good. 5. It does not have an x. It is not a like term. 3x squared. Seems like it might be the same, but x and x squared are different. So notice the x squared, they're not like terms. Negative 3x, yes, that's okay. Negative is just a negative number, but x has the same exponent. 1/2 x is good. It's basically about the same exponent power. And negative 10, not so much. 6, I want like terms to 6. So there's no variable. So I want numbers without a variable. Well, I see x squared, I see x, we would have 5, we would have negative 10. Okay. PEMDAS and terms. Okay. Simplify the expression, evaluate for the given value. These here, evaluate for the given value, you're just substituting negative 3 anywhere you see x. Be careful. I can't emphasize this enough. You're substituting negative 3. What I like to do is I have negative 4. I'm just putting it right in where x is. And I like to, when I substitute with parentheses. Okay? I'm popping in negative 3. Now I'm also squaring that. I'm subtracting 6 times my negative 3. And I'm adding 11. Alright, so you have to substitute negative 3 in here and here, and there they are. Okay? Now, if you don't put those parentheses in there, you will get an incorrect answer. Okay? Shake and bake through that one. And double check. You should get negative 7. Okay? If you don't, go back and keep trying. Okay, negative 7 should be your answer. Now this one here, we are substituting x and we are substituting y. All right, so just make sure you do both. So x to the third means 4 to the third plus 5 to the negative third. Okay, and again, you can shake and bake that. What do you get here? Let me do it on my own real quick. Plus my calculator's just not wanting to be friendly. 4 times 4. 4. So 64 minus 15, essentially. 49. Okay, sorry about the delay. All right, but again, if you do not get 49, keep trying. Okay. Last little bit here. Writing verbal models. So now taking this ahead and beginning to apply it. All right, say you're printing pictures at Walmart. Sorry, you're printing 15 digital photos at Walmart. They charge 80 cents per print for a large, which is an 8x10, and 20 cents for a small, which is a 4x6. You're uncertain as to how you want to print them just yet, but wonder how you can represent the total cost. All we want when we're representing something is you just want an equation. An equation, okay? I don't know what exactly is going to be going in there, but we just want an equation. So you need to think, what is everything we are given? Well, we know the price for a large print and we know the price for a small print. And we know that we have how many pictures? We have 15 total pictures. Okay, so we know that our cost of some sort is going to have to deal with this 15 pictures, okay? So let's let our large pictures be L, and let's let S be small, okay? One thing we need to think of is, what is the price of a large print? We know that is 80 cents, okay? And we know we're paying 80 cents for every large photo. Okay, that's our number of large prints. Now, what is the number of small prints, or the price? The price of small prints is 20 cents for our small prints. Okay, but what about this 15? We have 15 pictures to choose from, and this is what we're going to talk about. Okay, one thing we know is that we have 15 total pictures, right? 15 total. That makes up my large plus my small, or 15 equals large plus small. Okay, if I want to get this equation, so right now we have 0.80 L plus 0.20 S equals the cost. If I want one variable, that means I'm going to have to change either my L or my S. Well, let's think here. You're at Walmart. You have 15 pictures. If I print 8 large pictures, say we print 8 large pictures, how many small pictures must you then print? Well, if I print 8 large ones, I have 15. That must mean that 7 is what I have left. Okay, so there's a relationship here. There's a relationship between the number of large pictures and the number of small pictures. And how do you get 7? Well, if we took 15 equals 8 plus our small pictures, and we subtract 8, 7 must be the number of small pictures. Okay, similarly, if we have 15 large pictures, small pictures, and we want to solve for S, you could choose either one, and we subtract L. That means that really 15 minus large equals the number of small pictures. This is a tricky concept. 15 minus L is really 6. Or S, not 6, sorry. S. So what we can do is now substitute this in for S, and that's where the magic happens. 0.80 times L plus 0.20. Again, substituting the whole thing. 15 minus L equals our cost. Okay. Go ahead and you can use some properties to simplify this. So maybe go ahead and use the distributive. And try and tackle B. How much do you think it will cost to get those? And also, go ahead and tackle C as well. Try your best. Okay, but as to what is formally required of you, up to thereabouts, go back, use your notes to fill out the essential question, and we will see you tomorrow in class. Thanks, guys.